that you wanted to kind of touch on?
Yeah. So when you're a new agent, and it looks like we've got a lot of new agents on this call, which is awesome, especially the people that recently passed their exam, dude. That's so many people. And for all of the people that are on this call, none of you like the phones, which is cool. I hated the phones. I started my career on the phone, and I realized very quickly I hated the phones. I'd have to get really good at them, so I didn't have to spend so much time on them. The better you are at something, the less you have to do in order to be productive, efficient, and just ultimately lucrative in the business that you're in. So for the new people on the call, which I think these are mostly geared towards new people, you're going to hate the phone. It's going to be uncomfortable, but the phone is your friend. So the sooner that you realize that the phone is not your enemy, but it's the way that you're going to make all of your money, you'll start appreciating the skill set that you developed. And it's more important than the in-home presentation, way more important than product knowledge. It is the lifeblood of your business, how you're going to make money. So my approach to this thing is like, look, you got to get reps. So make 1 million phone calls in the beginning. What does that mean? Does it mean 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 calls? Like however many it takes for you guys to get the activity that you need in the beginning. Don't even complain about it. Just do it. And the more calls that you make, the more mistakes you're going to make, the more rejection you're going to get, but the sharper your skill set's going to be, sooner than you even believe. So it's always a race to the first 100 sits. Well, how do we get to that first 100 sits? Well, we got to be really good on the phone. So let me guess. I guess I can role play with you some, Gage, or how it sounds, or I can just go over my approach. What do you want me to do?
We can do a quick role play and then head into your approach.
Yeah, we could give you some objections.
Yeah. This is funny because I haven't been in the field for a month, so I hope that I can shake off the cobwebs here for you. So ring. Okay. So ring.
Hello.
Hey, Gage.
Yeah. Who's this?
Gage, it's Bob Richman. I was giving you a call about the mortgage protection response card you sent in on your loan through Chase. How you doing?
I'm okay, but who are you?
I'm calling you about the mortgage protection response card you sent in on your loan through Chase. You remember it was that type of coverage where if anything happens to either one of you, the mortgage is taken care of for your family? And that's what you were looking for, right?
Yeah, I was actually looking for that.
Perfect. So I just need to verify a little bit of information here. I'll have it right off the phone. So Gage, I've got you on 123 McKinney Ave in Dallas.
Yeah, that's it.
And the mortgage amount is for $185,000?
Correct.
Perfect. Now, is that a new home purchase for you or a refinance?
It's a new purchase.
Congratulations. Do you love it?
Yeah, we're liking it.
There you go. Feel like home yet? Or are you still walking in the walls in the middle of the night?
I mean, it kind of feels like home, but definitely some nights I run into the walls.
There you go. Well, look, ballpark for me what the new monthly mortgage payment is on that.
It's roughly around $2,000.
Perfect. And you set that up over 30 years or 15?
30.
All right, great. Now, look, I get a ton of these response cards each week, so I have to do a little bit of screening here health-wise with you, Gage. So tell me this, for the most part, in the last 7 years, y'all been in pretty good shape? No heart attacks, strokes, cancer, nothing like that, right?
Yeah, nothing for us, man. We're pretty young.
What about the small stuff? You take any kind of preventative medication like high blood pressure, cholesterol, thyroid, anxiety, diabetes, pain pills, anything like that?
Man, I do got some crazy anxiety.
Some anxiety, you take that as needed, or is that something you take daily?
It's kind of as needed. It kind of spikes up on me here and there.
Perfect, no problem. So look, the reason I was asking you all these questions is because I'm a broker. So what that means for you and Michaela, Gage, is I'm going to shop and customize the best plan to not only fit your situation, but most importantly, your budget. So what I do with all my clients is set up 15, 20 minutes at the most, get together with you, go over all your options, answer your questions, of course. And look, if I can show you all something you like, great. And if not, no problem. Fair enough?
Seems fair.
All right. So look, I'm guessing you're working during the week. You working remote or you going into the office now?
We're working remote.
Perfect. So you have flexibility during the day or better after like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
Probably better in the afternoon.
All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to be out in Dallas tomorrow. I've got a 7:30 at night, or on Wednesday, I could do something a little bit earlier around 5 o'clock. Which one of those is going to work better for you?
Well, actually, man, these next 2 nights, we have some plans. We're going out with some some friends.
Can't you just email us the info? We just want
Yeah, I wish I could. And you know what most of my clients actually appreciate is during these crazy times, we're actually going to come out in person and explain everything to you. So you have 100% clarity on how this works with everything you probably have through work and outside of it. As a matter of fact, most of our clients do. So anyways, I'm going to be out there. You know, like I said, I could do something. You said you work from home, right?
Correct.
Why don't I do this? I'll give you the quick version. I'll be out there around noon, actually about 12:15. That'll give you a chance to eat a sandwich before I get over there. Wednesday at noon.
Yeah, that should work, man. If you said how long it's going to take?
About 15 minutes. I'll be in and out. Trust me, I book appointments every hour on the hour, and that accounts for traffic in DFW. So when I tell you it'll be 15 minutes, it'll be 15 minutes. I'll be out of your hair. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Now, here's the deal. I'm going to shoot you over a text message right now with all my contact information. So if anything changes for whatever reason, just hit me up. Let me know that what time we can reschedule. It's no problem. We can do that. But as far as 12:30 or 12:15, excuse me, we said on Wednesday, nothing should get in the way of that, correct?
No, that's right around my lunchtime.
All right, perfect. And then real quick, before I have you off the phone, the address. Where am I going to find that? On the house, the mailbox, the curb?
It's on the curb.
All right, beautiful. Look for that text message in 2 minutes here. I'll see you Wednesday, 12:15. On to the next one.
Boom.
So
Yeah.
if you guys notice, like Rob really didn't give us an opportunity to talk unless we were answering a question. So that's the key component when you're on the phones is anytime you give a little pause or space in between, that's an opportunity for them to throw in an objection. And then it's just you kind of battling. Whereas when you have control on the phone, you just answer the questions, move right on, right? I mean,
So like, yeah, and so like my thing, yeah, and so like my thing, like on top of control, which, you know, that's a practice skill. But my mindset into this thing is like, look, they sent in a lead. You know, they said they wanted this. They remember, you know, like, come on, man. Don't tell me you don't remember. What is this about? Like, are you 75 or are you 35? Like, if you're 30, like if you're 75, maybe you forgot. But yeah. Look, I'm here to just give you the coverage that you're looking for. It's the type of coverage where if anything happens to you, the mortgage is taken care of for your family. You know, and that's what you're looking for, right? I nod my freaking head, like even when I'm on the phone, because it comes across like I've always been taught that. Like the more I move around, like I'm going back and forth in my chair, I'm like doing that on the phone, and
smiling.
I think that all attributes to the confidence, the more conversational tone that I take, and I think that's you know, it's a conversation. I think that's sometimes mistaken for control, but when you're just having a conversation with somebody, they typically do what they're told.
And I like how you cracked a joke in the beginning. Like everyone is you're gonna find a little joke or something to make it lighthearted in the beginning to make them laugh, because then it's like less salesy, less robotic and telemarketer, and it's like, oh, he's funny, he's a person. So try to find something. Gage says, are you getting up with the roosters or are you sleeping in? Like something that makes it you and makes it funny and less telemarketer.
Now, if you know you're not funny, don't try to be funny because it's probably going to be really bad. But if it comes natural to you, throw something in there, right? Like I just figured out that if they're waking up early, I could crack a joke about waking up early. And I think I heard someone else say that, to be honest with you, and I kind of just ripped and duplicated it.
Yeah.
I want to make sure
it's
so funny. I wanted to make sure my guy Connor wasn't on here because we posted this in our Slack. But like Connor tried to do this. I think Gage, you've met him, and he's not funny. And when it sounds like are you still walking in the walls in the middle of the night? And people are like, what?
What?
So
yeah.
No,
definitely fuck your own style, and that's the thing. It's like don't be like me, but be like you.
Yeah, of course. So obviously, man, like after showing everyone that you wrote over 800,000 on your own pen, I gotta believe that some people are wondering how the hell did he do that, right? And so what I would like you to touch base on is like what your schedule looks like and how you are staying busy through your week.
So I set a weird schedule. So I run 7 days a week when I was doing that, and the reason I did that is that I could set a schedule where I didn't feel like I was working that hard, but I wasn't working that hard, but I never took a day off. So I was busy every day. And if you have 7 days in a week, you can set 25 appointments by doing 3 or 4 appointments a day, as long as they're good quality appointments. And again, this isn't necessarily duplicatable. If you take anything from this, you can run appointments on Thursday night and Sunday morning. And that adds a whole field day. And people don't do that. Like 5 hours of work adds like a 12-hour field day. I love Thursday night appointments, and everybody's happy on Sunday. And if they see you on Sunday, they're going to buy. So staying busy was a little different. Like for those builders on the phone, like I was spending the time when I wasn't in the field, whether it was doing podcast trainings, doing a little bit of recruiting. I always got a workout in the middle of the day. I'd work in the morning. I'd go into the office in the morning. I get a workout in, and then I'd go in the field at night. Or I'd book seniors in the morning. I go into the office, then I get a workout in, then I go see people who are working at night. But I pretty much had like 12-hour days. Like I'd leave at 8 and I'd get home at 8:30 or 9. But I wasn't working that whole time. I was just staying busy. I don't really believe in naps or like going home during the day. I'd rather be doing something productive. So what does productive mean to different people? For just brand new agents, it means door knocking. So downloading Road Warrior or whatever app you guys use, and hitting doors. Whether that was pulling into a convenient store parking lot and making phone calls. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Because I live in North Dallas and I had 2 no-shows in Fort Worth and I got a 3-hour gap. I'm not going to drive like an hour and a half or an hour and a half with traffic. Like that wouldn't make sense. I just post up and dial. Or I'd go and like park 7 houses down and, wait till the people got home and dial there. But activity breeds activity. So the thing that you gotta understand is like momentum is strong. Momentum is a powerful thing, and every day has its own level of momentum. You start your day with positive or negative momentum, and that can carry you throughout the day in a good way or a bad way. But if you start accomplishing things, I guess you'd say in the beginning of your day, and you continue to accomplish small things like throughout the day, that momentum, it's just natural. So you get in front of people and you're not like, oh, I got to shake it all off to be in the zone and be energetic, give a good presentation. If you've already been making calls, talking to agents, door knocking, staying busy, keeping that energy level up, it's easy to run an 8:30 appointment, even if you've been no-showed the whole day, as long as you've been busy.
It's true. If I only have like 4 appointments in a day and I'm not doing like what you're doing, making calls in the morning and such, I feel like I do have like low energy all day because I've just been
you end up rescheduling your appointments or you're off your game.
If you're staying busy, then your energy levels are like, okay, I got to go to my next task.
How important would you say it is to work weekends, Rob?
And when I was running like 22 to 25 a week, like every single week, I can say with 100% certainty, at least 15,000 of it was coming in over the weekend. That's when people are home. So that's when I was grinding. And then my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were pretty light. Like, dude, if you wrote 15 stacks over the weekend, like you don't have a lot of pressure on your phone session.
Right.
And you probably missed some appointments over the weekend. So you came in with 3 or 4 appointments, and all I got to do is set 6 appointments on Monday, like all day in 10 hours. And then I got another 10. And then I got no pressure on those. So then it was just like whoever showed up. And it was a really, really easy. When you don't have to make a sale, it's really easy to make sales. When you have to make sales, there's like pressure and you're weird and anxious. You got commission breath, and it's like, it's just not productive.
Right.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. And the reason why I hit on that is because I think that we all kind of have to figure out what we're willing to give up to get up. And I know for a fact for myself is I just decided that I'm going to work every Saturday. It didn't matter what weekend it was, what month it was. I was going to work every single Saturday. So that meant that if my friends wanted to hang out Friday night, go out to the bars, drinking, whatever, like I missed out on those things. And as you can imagine, being in Dallas, I missed out on all kinds of pool parties, get-togethers on Saturdays. Saturdays are the days that you go out and have a ton of fun, or Saturdays are a day you go out and make a ton of money. And so that's what you kind of have to figure out. Maybe you don't want to give up your Saturday, but you're going to have to give up something to get to the goals that you want to reach. So obviously, man, selling 800 and some thousand in 1 year, we'd love to kind of hear some tips on your in-home, how you take control when you get in the door, and kind of how that process works for you. I'm
super assumptive and super conversational at the same time. So if they're home, I'm assuming it's going to be a deal because I've given them like 20 freaking outs, to get out of the appointment. So if they're there, I'm pretty confident they're going to buy. So I would probably, if I set 25 appointments a week, I'd probably see 16 of them. And I'd probably close 14 of them. And the reason for that is because I just think that if they send in a form, and like, dude, you guys are working with instant internet leads. It's the same thing. Like they're going to set the appointment. Like they got a lot of opportunities to hang up on you and no show you because people are cowards for the most part where they don't want to cancel. That's uncomfortable. People don't like that. So if they're home, they're going to buy from you. So your job is just not to screw it up at that point. Like 90% of the deal is done. Like have a little bit of product knowledge. Don't promise them a big term policy if they have congestive heart failure, because then you're not going to get a deal. So know your field underwriting. If they're healthy, you can just show them America. If they're unhealthy, figure out what carrier is going to accept them on immediate, run with that. So it's a conversation. So tell me what you're looking for, and then kind of just be quiet and let them go. And then they tell me.
Could you do a little bit of your introduction? Because I know one time we went out for drinks with Rob and he literally did his introduction at the table. He was like, got this, boom, 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 nailed it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so let's pretend that we're sitting down at the table real quick and how.
Okay, so Gage, you just bought this. So you just bought this house, right?
Yep.
Where did you move from?
We moved from Illinois.
You moved from Illinois. What brought you over here?
Warm weather.
I believe it. I'm from Cleveland, so I can appreciate that. Still have a lot of family out that way?
Everybody's back there, man. We kind of broke the cycle.
Man, you miss them, or you happy to get away?
A little bit of both. Probably more on the latter side.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So you just moved here from Illinois?
Yes.
You have any friends yet? You got look, when I moved down here, it was the craziest thing. I was going out and people were nice. It was weird because in Cleveland, nobody's that nice. Have you guys gone out yet? Made some friends?
A couple of friends.
Where's your favorite spots around here?
We like the Rustic. We've been to Katy Trail Ice House. That's a pretty cool place.
Dude, the Rustic has the best brunch. Have you been there for brunch?
I have not.
You haven't? You have to do it. They literally give you a bite of everything on the menu. It's amazing. You have to do that. So what are you guys doing for work now?
So we're in financial services.
That's amazing. You work for banks, or what do you do?
Yeah, we're working for an investment firm.
Okay, very cool. So you just bought this house. I'm sure you got a bunch of these forms in the mail. What caught your attention? Tell me what you're looking for.
Well, I seen on the card, man, that it wasn't just death talked about, if you became disabled. Then I also seen it said where you get your money back. So I was kind of curious what that meant. Yeah,
well, it does all of those things. So what I'm going to do is get a little bit more information from you, get a better picture, a 10,000-foot view on everything you have going on. And we're going to run through some options here, go over how it pays out. It goes to you, not the bank, the whole deal. Run through the options. Then if I can show you something you like, awesome. And if not, no big deal. Cool.
That works.
Cool.
And then I just go into the financial inventory sheet. And then
do you have a specific way where you go through the financial inventory sheet? Do you start with health first? You start with
I say, so what's your date of birth? Because I know it usually it's whatever it is. And then I say, so Gage, what do you do for work? You're in financial services. You already told me. What's your actual title at work?
So I'm a day trader.
You're a day trader. Got it. So what do you ballpark your annual income to be? This isn't going to the IRS. This is just for me to have a reference of your overall situation.
Probably, let's say 80,000.
And then Michaela, what do you do?
I'm actually working at home right now. Just kind of doing admin work for Gage.
As a homemaker, or are you actually paid?
I'm paid.
Gotcha. What's your annual income? Ballpark is fine.
I would say 30,000.
So let me ask you this. Are you looking for coverage on both of you or just on Gage?
Mostly Gage, just because, I don't know, if he were to pass away or get ill, it'd be hard for me to pay the mortgage.
Yeah,
it'd be a little hard.
Start working.
Put together options for both of you, and we can figure that out once we get to that point, but we're not there yet. So over the phone, you said, Gage, you just had some anxiety. It makes sense now that you're a day trader, why you'd be taking an anxiety as needed. You've probably been taking it a couple times a day over the last year, huh?
It's been a whirlwind, man.
Anything else you're taking on an as needed basis?
No, nothing else.
Michaela, you taking anxiety pills too, just being around Gage? You good?
I'm good.
All right, perfect. Then we said the loan amount here is $185,000. You're paying $2,000 a month over 30 years. Now, do you have any life insurance in place through your employers or outside of work?
Yeah, man, they gave me a big old insurance. I had like 250,000 at work.
I have an
That's awesome.
accidental policy on me.
Awesome. What was the purpose of that when you took it out?
Oh, me or him?
Either
I
one.
got the work policy. You got the accidental policy.
I just got the accidental because I was scared to get in a car accident here in Dallas, and I
Don't
just
blame
wanted to
you.
make sure.
Engage. What was the purpose of that 250 that you took out? Probably to cover your income. You
Yeah,
passed away?
man. I mean, that's just what they offered me at work. I figured I'd do it. Why not? So they take out a little bit out of my check. Nothing crazy.
Smartest thing you ever did. Now, do you have any retirement in place, like 401ks or pensions or anything like that?
Yeah, they set me up with the 401k, man. They matched me. It's pretty good.
Cool. Contributing to it currently?
Correct.
Amazing. And then I close my folder. I'm done with it. Their life insurance is killed. We're never talking about it again. And I say, so look, the 185,000 goes directly to you, not to the bank or lending institution. So that's going to give you options on what you can do with that money. Look, my clients do one of two things. Number one, they pay off the house in full, wash their hands of the biggest bill they have. Or two, they just throw the money in the bank and do whatever the heck they want with it. It just gives you flexibility when you're going through adversity. Whether you pass away, Michaela, you'll have the ability to do whatever you need. Or if you get sick, Gage, you'll have the flexibility to throw that money in the bank to overcome the loss of income, just be able to adjust. And options are a powerful thing when you're going through adversity. And it sounds like that's exactly what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I just was ultimately wanting to look at something like this. I don't know how much money I really want to spend on this. I mean, I'm pretty
perfect.
young.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. So the reason we ask all these questions, dude, is because we're brokers. We have access to every company out there, right? So the company that I'm going to show you, because you're young and healthy, Gage, and because getting your money back is really important, is this company called America. Now, I like them because they're the only company out there that's not only going to give you all your money back, but also give you 100% of the death benefit in the event that you ever got sick. It's like heart attacks, strokes, cancers, the whole deal, terminal illness, permanent disability where you can't perform your daily living activities. So I'm going to go with that. I think that's the best option for you. Now, here's the thing. Being brokers, we have access to everybody. So in the off chance that you got declined, because these plans are very competitively priced, they're not the easiest to qualify for. We have a ton of other options. So don't worry about it. If we get declined through America, we got other options. All right.
Okay.
So look, the options we're going to go through today are very simple. They're going to make sense or they won't. They'll be affordable or they won't be. But once we go through everything and I answer all of your questions, it's going to be crystal clear to you whether or not this is going to make sense for your situation. Okay. If it does, we're going to submit some apps with the underwriters. I'll do my best to get you approved. And if not, we won't do anything at all. Fair enough?
That sounds fair, man. I just been wondering what the price is.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm sure you wonder what these policies actually do for you. Additionally, that's why I'm here, right? So we already talked. This is what you're looking for. Pays off the house if anything happens to you. Michaela, you'd be toast if anything happened to him. You pay off the house, that life insurance policy through his job. Then what do? You got no income. Gage is the one paying you. We got to make sure we have something specifically in place to take care of the house, right? So option number one, cover the full amount of the loan, $185,000 level benefit plan. Premiums don't go up. Coverage does not go down with the amortization of the loan. Permanent with regards to your health. So if your health ever changes, they can't take it from you. And it's portable. So if you ever move or refinance, this coverage goes with you. It's attached to your social security number. Can never get more expensive. Never need to reapply for this in the future. Okay. Now, unlike life insurance, like you have through your job, where if you got sick or disabled, you'd lose that because you'd lose your job. These policies are permanent. Now, they also have living benefits. So first of all, critical illness, flip a coin. One of us is getting cancer, Gage. Flip another coin, the other one's having heart issues. 75% chance that you use this policy right here. Now, if you have any one of those things, 100% of the death benefit pays out tax-free and immediately. So $185,000 will go directly to you to do whatever you need to do with that money, okay? Now, chronic illness is like Alzheimer's, dementia, congestive heart failure, chronic kidney disease, chronic liver disease, all the bad stuff. $185,000 will pay out. Now, disability. Now, this isn't like, to be clear, this is not break your leg and can't go to work. This is can't perform 2 out of your 6 daily living activities. So feed, bathe, dress, transport, work, toilet. If those things happen, policy pays out. Also, terminal illness, if you have 24 months or less to live, policy pays out. Also, if something happens to you, you die in an accident. So you're driving on these crazy roads, like Michaela took out that accidental policy. If you die in an accident, pays out an extra 50% on top of the 185. So that would be what, 280,000. Also, if you're unemployed or ever laid off, premiums are waived. Coverage stays in force, never need to repay those. So if you go through a bank, they're going to take 20% of your mortgage payment, set it aside for this type of coverage. Bank's your beneficiary. Policy is decreasing term policy. No money back, no living benefits. Overall, it's trash. That's why they use us to handle this for all their clients. So Gage, because you're young and healthy, if you want to cover the full amount of the loan on you, you're looking at $124 a month. All right. Now, if you want to cut, that's what most of my clients do in your situation. All right. And this is like a savings account, dude. If you don't use it, you get all your money back out of it. If you die, you get all your money back. You get all the death benefit. If you get sick, you get the full amount of the policy. No brainer. Now, if that's pushing you because you're making $80,000 a year and you just moved into this house, you're paying $2,000 a month. And because you're young and healthy, I always like to show a second option. So covering 100,000 of it. Same deal, same plan. Everything's identical, except it's 100,000 versus 185. So if you want to cover 100 versus the 185, you're looking at 72 a month versus the 123. Between these two options, which one makes the most sense for your situation, but gives you the peace of mind you're looking for and is comfortable financially?
I mean, of course, I would love to cover the whole home, but I just don't know if I really want to put that much money towards this type of insurance. But I definitely think that the 100,000 is doable, especially if I get my money back.
It would, and I'm going to interrupt you there because I don't even want you to talk yourself into anything stupid. It'd be crazy to cover the full amount with your age and health. Here's the deal, Gage. We got to qualify for this. You take anxiety medications. Companies are weird about that, specifically Americo. But I think based on the medication you told me, we can probably get this through underwriting. Only way to know if we can is to submit an application. So we're going to knock that out. It'll take me 2 minutes. We'll get a tentative approval on this thing. And if we can get that, we figure out what coverage amount really makes the most sense for you at that point. Okay?
Okay.
I open up the laptop and do it.
Cool, dude. I mean, that was freaking impressive, man. I've honestly never heard your in-home before. So that's why I kind of wanted to run through it. And it's just smooth as butter, dude. I love it.
I haven't given a presentation in like a month, dude. When I'm on my game, sometimes they're better.
I know, and you're doing it so fast. I was like, okay, he's running through this.
So if you look at that, the presentation takes like 10 minutes, like all in going over the options. So it's like 5 minutes of report in the beginning. The application is going to take like 10 minutes, 20 minutes if you're doing a husband and a wife. You button up the sale. You tell them you love them, and then you leave. 45 minutes in, and then you're 10 minutes late to your next appointment, but it's all good.
Yeah. And I mean, one thing that I really noticed is you had a really casual conversation with us about us moving to Dallas. So is that something that you try to do at the beginning, is kind of relate to them, give them tips on the area, or like you kind of cater
You're
it to
young.
the client?
Yeah, like you're young, and like none of that's BS. Like it was so cool moving here 7 years ago, like from Ohio. People are nice, so it's easy to talk about. You guys are young. I didn't even ask what your age was. I guess it didn't really matter for this example. If you were in your 40s, I'd ask how the schools are. I'd find something to relate on.
And I guess
once
when
it got like,
do you pick that up when you walk in the home or when you sit at the table? Like, are you looking around in the home to kind of relate with them, or how do you do that really?
Yeah, I usually people usually offer a bottle of water when I'm in the house. And because I've had a bunch of appointments that day, or because I was at the gym, I drank a lot of water. So I asked to use the restroom in every house. So I pee. And while I'm going to the bathroom, I'm looking for stuff. And then I'll like talk about something that I noticed. That's very AIL. That's what they taught me in the beginning of my career. So 11 years ago, I was doing the same intro that I'm doing today. And it works. And then when it gets weird and awkward, when you're like, this is like, okay, now I don't want to get into the friend zone, and I don't want to go off on too many tangents, like 2.5, 3 minutes in. If you notice, my transition is pretty smooth. I got pretty good at that over the years, where it's like, so you probably got a bunch of these. You fill this out. Tell me what caught your attention. What are you looking for? And then it's down to business.
Yep, you bring it right back to business.
Another
So
thing I took away was like, I like how every time you're taking the sales pressure off by saying it'll either make sense or it won't, or we'll either apply or we won't. It was like,
Yeah.
you're taking away the sales pressure of like, because I'm always like, I'm like, this is what we're doing today, which that's my way of taking control. But I do like how you did that, because it was like, okay, so we might not apply or we might not, because that it gives them that like ease.
Yeah, and when you're doing that, you're really in the most control because it's not abrasive, and you're just like,
Yeah.
you know, you have good control in a house when the client thinks they have control.
Yeah, exactly.
And it takes a little bit of practice, but like you guys, it's after 100 sits, you figure it out.
Right.
makes sense. So two things here. One, I know that most of us get this objection, especially when we're new and we're not necessarily as confident. So you sit down at the table and the lead says, I'm not buying anything today.
Uh-huh.
So how do you react to that?
So I'm like, why am I here then?
Well, I'm looking for quotes.
Well, I told you over the phone. You told me over the phone that you were just shopping around, and when I told you I wasn't the quote guy, I'm serious. So should I leave, or do you actually want to hear what this is going to do for you?
Well, I want to hear it, but I just don't know if I want to commit to anything.
I don't even know if you can qualify for this, Gage. Can I just go through this really quick? If it makes sense, we'll move forward with it. If not, I'll leave. I've got another appointment I can go to anyway.
Love it. So you're like, look, you want this or not? I'm busy. I can keep it moving. I love it. So obviously,
I really don't acknowledge stupidity in a house.
Makes sense. No, that makes total sense.
You can't sell stupid. You can't sell stupid. So if they're going to be stupid, you can't sell them anything. They won't tell you anything. I don't want to waste my time. I'll go. I've got more people to see. You're not the only one. I told you this was my only appointment slot I had for you today. So you understand, right? I'm busy. I don't want to show you something you're going to cancel. That's not good for either one of us.
Yeah.
And I can go. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
I love that. So lastly, we'll end this call on this. Rob's obviously, I mean, as you guys can see, this in-home, it's smooth as butter. It flows. He's been in the insurance industry for some years now. But Rob, I want to ask you this. Let's say you're brand new to the insurance industry. You're brand new to FFL. What would you tell yourself, or what is one tip or two tips of advice that you would give your current self to a brand new Rob into the business?
Well, number one, I think you find a mentor and you develop a relationship with that person, because they'll go out of their way to help you, whether they're on your team or not. I'm not even just talking about like what you did with me, Gage, but like in general, like I latched on to a couple people in the beginning that didn't need to help me. I already said I was at AIL. So when I was there, I found a mentor in the business, and dude, I just came into the office early and picked the guy's brain. And I absorbed it like a sponge, because you got to find somebody that has the things that you want that you don't have yet, and somebody who's ethical, who will teach you how to make sales, who will teach you how to protect families, and that you trust to never lead you in the wrong direction. And if you can find somebody like that, they will cut that learning curve so dramatically. Like if it takes 100 sits to be confident and proficient in this business, it'll take you 25 sits if you can find somebody who has your back and you can trust them. Preferably it'd be local. But we got a lot of pen pals at FFL. So you can find one of those too. But I would say find somebody that you respect, that you want to be like, not as a person out of work, but professionally, because you never know what people have going on their personal life. But find someone who's getting the results that you want to have, and enforce their attention. Other than that, I would say, like, as horrifying and terrifying as it is to buy leads in the beginning, I would just have the belief that you can make it happen on them, because leads do convert. I've had bad leads before. We don't have bad leads. If you think you have bad leads, go door knock them, and they'll turn into good leads pretty quick. Don't be afraid. You cannot dial them enough. It's not disrespectful to dial a lead 12 times in a day. So don't convince yourself that 2 or 3 times is enough. It's not. these people, especially these instant internet leads or final expense, they get a million phone calls a day, and you just might be on that 12th call could be the right time because they were standing by their home line and they just picked up the phone because they just wanted to scream at somebody, but then like this is actually something that they remember doing. So be relentless on the phones and find a mentor.
I love that.
Appreciate it,
One
bro.
thing I was going to mention about the mentor thing too, just like when you are finding that mentor, I think it's important too to like respect their time as well though. So when you're calling them and asking them things, make sure you're very intentional with like the conversation, not just kind of like telling them your drama or life story. It's like when you have a mentor, it's there to like truly let you grow. So when you call them, ask them the questions you need to ask and to respect their time. That's just something that I think I took away from my mentor was like, when I call him, I want to make sure that I'm doing the right things to respect.
I mean,
his
dude,
time.
Gage just came in and said, "Hey, can I just like listen?" And then I took things from Gage, like, "Hey, Miss Ruby, hey, Miss
Yeah.
Ruby," and it's like little things like, "And that's not you, right?" And there's little things like you learn, like your mentor will learn from you, and it's
Absolutely.
funny how you meet in the middle on some things, and it turns into a very reciprocated relationship. So I just wish all of you the best of luck. You're on a great team. I wish I was blessed to have Gage on my team. You're very lucky to have him. He works so hard. He's one of the best people I know. He will never lead you in the wrong direction. He won't lead you astray. He'll pour it into you. He'll do everything he can to help you as long as you give 100%. I'll speak for Gage and say, don't give him 99. You don't deserve his attention. Give him 100. I'll give you 110 back. And it'll change your life. Have him as your mentor, man. And if not, find someone else and just trust him. Trust Michaela. Those two are a power team. And you guys are taking this through the roof. So I'm just happy to be a part of your success, Gage. Humbly speaking, of course. And I hope this helped everybody on the call.
Absolutely,
and don't forget to reach out.
I truly appreciate